Some consider airline travel a liberating experience, but for others, fright and flight go hand in hand. Michael Schlesinger profiles the work of a local aviation psychologist whose 30-year reputation has lifted the spirits of so many, including a woman who's battled various fears of dying on a number of levels.
More the concept of plummeting to my death, really. It's the what ifs is really the problem. Those that get in your head and you can't quite tell them to be quiet because no matter how implausible, they're scary.
The fear of flying has been some major baggage for 37-year-old Sarah Zarzinski, really since 9/11, more than 17 years ago. But now, that's all changed. Back in December, Zarzinski took a flight to Florida with her dad, Jeff. He pushed her to go on the trip, but it just didn't happen overnight. There was a little convincing and a lot of classwork to do.
I'm just getting ready to board for my flight to Fort Myers. Hopefully everything goes as smoothly as our graduation flight did. Kind of wish I had my whole class team here with me, but I have all of the tools that we learned together, so I'm really excited, only a little bit nervous, and I think it's going to be great. So we'll see.
The class she's talking about is taught by clinical psychologist Dr. Michael Tomero, who happens to know Zarzinski's father.
I feel more spiritual when I'm flying. When I get to see you know, remember the song From a Distance? Everything looks differently from a distance. It does. And the clouds have a life of their own.
CBS 58 profiled Dr. Tomero and his course a handful of years ago. Since the program started in the mid-1980s, along with the partnership at General Mitchell International Airport, he's overseen more than 60 classes.
You must trust that the airplane is going to do what it says it was going to do.
One recurring theme, albeit a little cliche, is attitude and altitude going hand in hand.
You can look down and you can say, I'm 35,000 feet off the ground, terrifying, or I'm 35,000 feet in the air, which means I've got a lot of choices up here, a lot of volume, a lot of energy. At 35,000 feet is stored energy. There's a lot of choices that I have at 35,000 feet, and if I don't think of those things, you see, I'm not accurately perceiving the environment.
Through his counseling, this instructor is able to dive deeper, physically and psychologically, with each student.
Your muscles are 100% under your control. You see the difference? And if you relax your muscles, your breathing will automatically follow because you have lower demands for oxygen, so your breathing slows down. If your muscle is tense, that's a signal to your brain for more adrenaline. So if we're sitting in an airplane seat and we're doing this, and you say, I'm so afraid, and somebody says, well, don't be afraid, you can't not be afraid. But if somebody says, relax your muscles, and you say, okay, how do you feel? Not as afraid as I was 5 minutes ago.
Zarzinski, a breast cancer survivor herself, has clearly received the information from her teacher and processed it well. Her actions prove it.
Relax my muscles, and anytime I have a fearful moment or thought, you know, try to see if there's a piece of information that I've learned that I can remind myself so that I don't get caught up in a toxic perception, as he calls them.
It's worth it to try to broaden your experience even if the plane goes down. And that's for anybody. That, you know, not that it's worth it to get to your destination, but it's worth it to try to live a life free from these restraints and fears.
She did not spend the 5 days worrying about coming home. And we talked about it periodically, but it didn't ruin the experience. We had a wonderful, full experience, a couple of weather issues that we can't control those either. But she did a wonderful job, and I think that's what I'm most proud of her, is that she didn't let it ruin her time there.
I caught up with this traveler immediately when she got back from the Sunshine State. She's beyond happy with her accomplishments. She did say, though, landing was the hardest part. But with a calm, clear, educated mind, she knows the sky's the limit as to what she could do or where she can go.
Giving you just enough information to be able to tell yourself truths. You know, why did I feel like I was falling backwards there? Well, because we had to slow down under 10,000 feet. There's a speed limit.
She did it with knowledge, and she did it, and that gave her strength, which is why I think this program works so well for her. It's because Dr. Tomorrow brings you knowledge, and through that she found her strength.
For the foreseeable future, the Fight Your Fear class has gone on hiatus. Tomero says his future goal is to work with one airline specifically. He says flying in general has become more complicated in terms of booking and seating. But while he's wading through uncharted waters trying to figure it all out, he assures me he's still available for one-on-one therapy.
Beyond thankful. I'm so grateful to have met him and gotten to work with him, and I wish that more people knew that someone like him was out there, and I wish there were more someones like him out there.
What's your next trip?
I might try to go back to Florida again and get some warmer weather. We had a little chillier Florida time, but and then go see some other family in Arizona, I think. So I'm trying to see like what's around, what can I take, where can I go?